Have aliens infiltrated our government? We've got that and a lot more to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, the idea that beings have infiltrated our government or governments has been around for a long time, and there's certainly some evidence for it. Richard Nolan is now talking about it. Let's see what he has to say.
It's not illogical to think that an alien group that comes here would want to infiltrate. Why wouldn't they? They're looking at humanity radically, massively expanding its power. Every week, we're just becoming more and more powerful as a species. More dangerous to ourselves, but definitely very powerful.
So would they infiltrate our government for that reason or other reasons, maybe to control us, to divide us, possibly? That is very, very likely, and a very, very likely scenario for why they would infiltrate us. They don't want us getting too powerful. They could be, suppressing information. They could be steering us along certain courses. If they're in charge of, certain governmental sectors that could lead governments to clash against each other, to keep us at our own throats, to keep us weak, to keep us divided, so that, we don't become as powerful as we might be. Could we be a threat to them if we were united? Is that what Richard is getting at? Is it possible that we could be a threat to them? Well, let me know what you think in the comments below. I thought this was really intriguing. We have a reply from Daz Smith, who is one of the best remote viewers out there. And his reply is very alarming to the question of have beings infiltrated our government. He says they already have. And Daz Smith sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He must have remote viewed this. And he has come to the conclusion that, yes, they have infiltrated our government. I think that's very likely. The evidence for hybrids living amongst us is very solid. So why wouldn't they have infiltrated our government? But let me know what you think. Meanwhile, we have an update on Gary Nolan about the Soul Conference, the Soul Foundation Conference, and, material coming out from that, videos, etc., that are, revealing what they discussed in more detail about the Soul Foundation Conference that we are, all so curious about. He says the reason for the delay is straightforward. Human frailty and my lack of understanding of the process of how professional camera crews collect and store video. The buck stops with me at the end of the day, and I won't point fingers. Should we have streamed? Probably. Did we get some requests from some individuals not to stream? Yes. Did some people ask not to have their faces in any videos? Yes. And videos have to be checked by hand for these images. That sounds time consuming. Should I have hired someone to do all the editing from the get-go and not assume that someone else was doing it who I thought I was paying to do it? Yes. So blame me, end of story. We have some volunteers helping edit the 10 terabytes of video from 4 cameras and 2 GoPros. Nothing will get edited out for public consumption. Relax. Ross Coulthard's interview of me just out was over a year on the docket before it was released. The only difference between those videos and the current ones is that I was about 10 pounds lighter back then. Back on the diet for me. Yeah, me too. The holidays have not been good for my waistline. But there you go. Gary Nolan is giving us an update on when we can expect videos coming out from the Soul Conference, and I look forward to it. In other news, a short tweet from Askapol, Matt Laszlo at Askapol, great reporter, really on this stuff, has a lot of access with these Congress people, and he's relaying this hilarious quote from Senator Rish. I don't read UFO stories. Oh my God. Really? Really? Okay, so yeah, whatever. Some people are just not into it, right? And that is so unfortunate. That's what we're dealing with, is the stigma, this brainwashing, and it's not even his fault. I don't even blame Senator Rish. I was brainwashed myself for most of my life about UFOs. I had blinders placed on me by the powers that be. Don't look at that stuff. It's kooky. It's weird. It's BS. They stigmatized it. They've trivialized it. and they've done a really good job. They seem to have started doing that in the 50s. And it could have been, I reported on before recently about how that may have been the work of the CIA. And whoever is responsible, the UFO control group has certainly been brainwashing the public about UFOs for many, many years. And it looks like Senator Rish is a victim of that. Either that, or he's in the employ of the UFO control group. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. In other news, the commander of the 88th Air Base wing at Wright Patterson Air Force Base was relieved of command on December 29th due to a loss of confidence in his ability to lead. What is going on there? And of course, Wright Patterson is infamous for being a huge hub of UFO crash retrieval activity. Ross Coulthart once said there was a veritable parking lot of UFOs at Wright Pat. Wright Patterson is hugely important in the lore of ufology. And so what affects Wright Patterson might affect ufology. And people are really speculating about that.
Center 7 has learned the commander of the 88th Air Base Wing at Wright Patterson Air Force Base has been relieved of command. Colonel Christopher Meeker was removed today. Air Force officials said it's because of, quote, loss of confidence in his ability to lead. Meeker was installed as commander in July of 2022. The commander of the Air Force Life Cycle Management Center said, quote, I made this decision in the best interest of the men and women of the 88th Air Base Wing.
There you go. We don't have any more information about it, or at least I don't. People are speculating wildly online about whether this is a good thing or a bad thing for ufology. Was the old leader anti-disclosure and the new leader pro-disclosure? Does it have nothing to do with UFOs? It probably has nothing to do with UFOs, but it could have something to do with UFOs. So let me know what you guys think. Meanwhile, check this out. That's just badass. What? A flaming katana? Oh my god, that's so cool. What the hell? Love it. Okay, yeah, we have to see that again. Okay. Nice. Nice. Love it, man. Love it. Meanwhile, certain people are talking about Sean Kirkpatrick's debunking article or paper about UFOs. What did he find? Shockingly, the study published at nature.com is a 9-page document that takes a deep dive into analyzing geographical and spatial data associated with U.A.P. reporting. It characterizes reports into 5 basic categories: airborne clutter, natural atmospheric phenomenon, U.S. government industrial development programs, foreign adversary programs, others. The conclusion of the report seems to suggest that UAP are simply misidentified tech. As stated, highly credible relationships with air traffic and military activity suggest that people are seeing, but not recognizing, things that are human-made. Shocking that that comes from the pen of the lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick. Meanwhile, from the WAN, he's posting this 10-minute long or 9+ minute long interview with Dr. Bob Wood on Coast to Coast from, I think, 2004. Yeah, this is the 2004 UFO Crash Retrieval Conference. And it's really, really interesting. I've always wondered about UFO shoot downs and, how are we able to shoot these things down? It seems so unlikely that these ships, some of them coming from the, distant galaxies or dimensions or, far parts of the universe, could be shot down by our puny human weapons. But it seems to happen. And here's a new wrinkle in it, or possible answer: proximity fuses. Per noted UFO crash retrieval, Dr. Bob Wood, per his conversations with Leonard Stringfield, and I guess that means crash retrieval expert, most of the early UFO crashes were caused by us trying to shoot them down, potentially using a new technology at the time called proximity fuses. And there is, and it also seems to take in the 1964 Sakaro case. Very, very interesting. I will let you watch the full interview at your leisure, and I'll link to it below. There have been numerous reports of UFO shootdowns using a whole battery of technology. Sometimes simple missiles or even bullets seem to have an effect. Other times it's energy weapons or EMP devices, stuff like that. And now we have proximity fuses. Again, it's crazy that, any human weapon that's not reverse engineered or gifted ET tech could have any effect on these vessels, but apparently they do. And it's fascinating. And, I'm not even saying that as a good thing. I guess in a way that it's good that we can defend ourselves from these beings if we need to. But there is a good amount of evidence to suggest that the UFO control group might be working with the bad guys and shooting at the good guys. Now, we don't have any conclusive answers on that. They could well be working with the enlightened Galactic Federation who have our best interest at heart. Who knows? Nothing about what the UFO control group has done really screams high morality to me, so it's hard to imagine they're on the side of the angels here. But who knows? Who knows? Either way, we are shooting at them, and that may be one weapon that we used in the early days of this conflict. Proximity fuses. So let me know what you think about that and everything else covered today. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, links are below. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, please consider grabbing a t-shirt or a coffee mug in the merch store or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars. I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Also, channel members frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.